you might have to forgive yourself multiple times before you start to realize that life happens.
Fuck your tired body, fuck that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. You know, you better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going.
And what I mean is, you can set goals for yourself, you can set milestones for yourself and plans for yourself, and life can happen and can derail all your plans. And it doesn't mean that you're a dumbass for not seeing it coming, that you're stupid for not seeing that person be a person that shouldn't have been in your life and you had them in your life for a long time. I think that you're dumb if you recognize that this is not good for you and you keep going to that thing, or you keep doing that thing that isn't helping you but hurting you. I think that's when that's dumb, right? But I think when it initially happens and you don't have the life experience, and the only way you get life experience is by living life, you have to be patient with yourself. You have to forgive yourself for being ignorant and not understanding. And I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves grace to live life and make mistakes. We want to be in the position where we're always right. We always see things coming. We always 2-3 steps ahead. And a lot of times we're not. Sometimes we're 3-4 steps behind. Sometimes we are not on the same page that we need to be in order to get to the goals we want. Sometimes life happens that derailed our plans, and now we have to take this alternate route to get back on track. And all these things can lead to having depression, having anxiety, quitting on life, saying that you're a failure. But failure is not permanent. Success isn't permanent either. But failure doesn't mean that it's fatal. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that it's like you can never get out of this losing effort and become winners. And it doesn't mean just because you're winning right now doesn't mean you can't become a loser later on. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a constant pursuit of trying to improve where things when things go wrong. I think you're most battle tested when things go wrong. Right? Last year I had a great year. A lot of great things went right for me. This year I tore my ACL, right? Life-altering situation for me. And I have to learn how to deal with this while also trying to pursue the goals that I had set for myself for this year, right? Did that put a halt on a lot of things? Yes. Did that hurt my feelings and I blamed myself for a day? Yeah. And that's what made me want to make this video. I blamed myself for life happening. Obviously, I didn't want to tear my ACL. But people around me was like, man, you're not that kid anymore. My parents were like, that was a good thing. And I blamed myself and I apologized for something that most of us wouldn't have wanted to happen to us in the first place. It just happened. And I think we confuse with things that just happen with us making genuine mistakes in life, or doing things that we know would negatively impact us. And I think when we sit back and we have to be honest with ourselves and say, hey, I made a mistake. Hey, or life happened. Let me forgive myself. Let me really take a break and apologize to myself for being negative, or not recognizing the negative pattern. But when I forgave myself and I sat back and realized what was happening, I didn't make the same mistakes. Right? I might have made different mistakes, but I didn't make the same mistakes. Right? I might have still took some time, but I still was in pursuit. I didn't give up. And I think that happens a lot. Life happens to you. Things happen in our lives. People leave our lives. And these are very life-altering situations. We don't forgive ourselves and we quit on life. Or we stop doing that and try to go do something else. Or we just get used to being abused or mishandled or mistreated because we think it's too hard to find people or to respect ourselves, because we've been disrespecting ourselves our whole lives. So what's the point of trying to respect ourselves if we didn't disrespect ourselves the entire time? What's the point of that, right? People are not respecting me. What's the point of that? And I always say this, it's not people who need to respect you. You need to respect you. And people will follow. And if those people don't follow, we don't need those people in our lives, right? If we don't forgive ourselves, if we don't give ourselves a chance, if we don't give ourselves a opportunity to learn and give us the space to figure things out, who will? You know what I notice? We give people time and space for people we love, people we having sex with. We give them all the time and space in the world. But when it comes to us, we have a very short leash with ourselves, a very low tolerance with ourselves, very high tolerance for the disrespect, very high tolerance for the toxic, but very low tolerance for ourselves. Why is that? Right? I think we forget that we're living our lives, right? And in our lives, it's not going to be fairy tale. It's not a Disney movie, right? And even in Disney movie, there's a conflict, there's a resistance, there's a opposition that has to be overcome in order for it to be prosperous. And I think we stop at the resistance, and we can't do that anymore if we wanted to improve, if we want to be great. And a lot of it comes down to, man, I made that mistake, and I'm not gonna get on myself about it, but I'll recognize it and move on. And I think once you recognize it and be able to move on and forgive yourself and be, more kind to yourself, and you'll be able to start to maneuver difficult terrains easier.